Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to look at whether Social Security can spy on you, whether they can investigate you, what are they allowed to do, and what they're not allowed to do. For example, they are not allowed to film you in the privacy of your own home. Today, we're going to get into what would cause Social Security to investigate you and how you would even know if Social Security was spying on you. We're going to talk about the things that cause the SSA to do an investigation and what things you should avoid doing so you don't get investigated. You're even going to see actual footage of CDI investigations and how people were caught lying and committing fraud. So, can Social Security spy on you? The answer is yes. Social Security does have the ability to investigate you if they have suspicions or reasons to. This could be because of an application for disability that you submitted or a complaint that they received against you. Most of the investigations happen because of a disability claim, where a person will say they can't work or they have pain, but there is almost no physical evidence of what they are saying. When there is no x ray or MRI to prove what they are saying, the doctors and SSA have to verify that your condition is real and not just made up. So, when you apply for disability benefits, your case goes to the State Disability Determination Services, or DDS. If you are claiming a disability but you have very little supporting evidence of your disability, then your state DDS may request that Social Security conduct an investigation. Or maybe a neighbor makes a complaint to Social Security that you are not really disabled. They claim you're just faking it. Social Security will then hire independent investigators, sometimes from local police, to do an investigation. This is what's called CDI, or Cooperative Disability Investigations. It consists of multiple different agencies, most of which are not employees of the SSA. If the SSA ever ordered a CDI on you, please let us know your experience in the comment section below. Usually, you will not know that a CDI is happening or that they are spying on you. You usually only find out a CDI was conducted on you when you hear back from SSA about your claim. A CDI investigation will typically take about 2 days, and during that time, they can do the following surveillance. They can film you from a public place like a parked car on the street. They can interview your neighbors, doctors, and friends. They can follow you around and record you as you run errands, shop, or go to appointments, so long as you are in a public place. They can look at what you spend and what you charge on your credit cards. Here's what they cannot do: they cannot photograph you or record you in your house or even outside your home so long as you have a reasonable expectation of privacy. They cannot enter your home unless you invite them in. A CDI investigation is not a warrant to enter your home or search your home. They are not allowed to tap your phone, and they cannot impersonate someone or entrap you. In some cases, the CDI investigators will come to your door and interview you. Sometimes they will walk up to you and start chatting with you in your yard, like a nosy neighbor, just to see if you start talking. They might not even introduce themselves as an investigator. They can just strike up a conversation saying they are looking for someone. What the investigators are looking for depends a lot on what kind of disability you are claiming. Let's take 3 different examples. In this first example, you are claiming that you have terrible back pain and that it's preventing you from doing a regular job. Then the investigator might look for evidence of you doing some physical activity. If they find, for example, that you are subscribed to a bowling alley membership on your credit card, or you go horseback riding regularly, that could be a reason to deny your claim. Another example: if you are claiming that you have PTSD or post traumatic stress disorder, and that is preventing you from working, then the investigator might look at certain other activities. For example, if you spend 5 hours playing bingo every day, maybe the PTSD is manageable. Last example: You say you have chronic headaches and they are causing you to be disabled. CDI investigators find that you are actually going out every night to the local bar and drinking excessively. That could be used against you in your evaluation. So, a lot of what the investigators are looking for will depend on the medical record and what claims you are making. And what many people don't realize is that when you go to your consultative examination appointment, after you claim a disability, they will spy on you there. A lot of people think that SSA only investigates them at their home. But no, they usually start investigating you at your appointment, in the parking lot, or as you make your way to the appointment. Let's take a look at some footage of actual CDI investigations. This first surveillance video shows an investigation by the Tampa CDI unit. The investigation shows that in the lobby of the Social Security office, the man used a cane while walking. But he walked around the SSA office for over an hour without any noticeable discomfort. The same man was later seen lifting a heavy piece of furniture into the dumpster and sweeping leaves from the roof of his house without the need of a cane. He was then seen shopping and carrying bags without a cane, and even coaching a little league team with no mobility problem in his legs. Next, we have a man who applied for disability due to constant pain. He claimed he couldn't do any lifting, standing, walking, or sitting. He told SSA his girlfriend was responsible for all of his daily care, including walking his dogs. But in the CDI video, he is seen leaving his house with two dogs and walking his dogs in the yard. He then drives himself to a business, gets a bulky guitar and amplifier, and carries them inside. Next, he gets gas at a gas station and goes to an appointment. After the appointment, his car breaks down, and when the tow truck arrives, the man helps his girlfriend into the truck and then gets into the truck himself without any help. Here is another woman who said that she was so disabled she could not sit, stand, or lift for long periods. But in the video, we can see her bending easily while picking up furniture, lifting it into the truck and jumping from the truck's tailgate. And finally, one of our most famous surveillance subjects who claimed severe back pain and unable to handle the physical demands of any job. The video speaks for itself. What many people forget is that investigators will start collecting evidence before they even leave their office. They will start investigating you online to see if you are on social media like Facebook, Instagram, or X. They will contact your doctor, get your medical record, and see if your online life matches what you are claiming at the doctor's office. If you are claiming terrible pain in your knee, but you are posting photos on Facebook hiking a mountain or running on the beach, then the investigator won't even need to film you to file their report. So, if you are collecting disability, be very careful of what you post on social media. Now, it's important to remind everyone that investigations only happen if the SSA has reason to be suspicious. If you have a real condition that is documented by your doctor, then there is no reason SSA would order an investigation. So, now that we have talked about how they investigate and why, let's go into who is doing it. We already explained that CDI investigators are usually local private investigators or local law enforcement. But CDI investigations are coordinated by the Office of the Inspector General at the Social Security Administration. The OIG currently has about 35 regional CDI units spread across the country. These offices coordinate with local law enforcement, share information gathering, reports, and communicate with the state services and the courts. CDI units were only created in 2012, so they are still fairly new. They came about after an epidemic of Social Security fraud was spreading across America. Something needed to be done about all the false cases of disability fraud that were happening. There are now 35 CDI units spread around the country whose only job it is to root out Social Security fraud. So, what are the things that can trigger a Social Security disability investigation? The first is a report or complaint is received by the SSA. This can come from a neighbor, a friend, a colleague, or anyone. If the complaint is believable and has facts or evidence, then SSA will request an investigation. The disability in question also has to be the sort of disability that is hard to prove medically. So, if you have an amputated leg, you won't trigger an investigation. But if you're complaining of multiple personality disorder or migraine headaches, then an investigation is much more likely. Your behavior will also determine if an investigation is necessary. If you never go to the doctor, but you are complaining of some debilitating pain, then it's likely they will do an investigation. They are much less likely to do an investigation if you have a history of going to doctor's appointments, going to tests, and following up with other visits. If your doctor's reports show a history of your condition, then that's going to weigh more heavily in your favor. Remember, investigation reports are only one piece of the disability case, and judges don't rely on the report entirely. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please hit the like button and subscribe. We will keep making videos about Social Security and your rights to benefits. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.